Just one question. What if you miss?
I won't.
The Halo series has the historic distinction of inspiring millions of gamers to spend hundreds of dollars on new consoles just to play it. The Master Chief Collection, which includes all 4 numbered entries in the series, is a great reminder that Halo succeeded because of timeless first-person shooter design. With excellent stories, sandbox battlefields, and great AI, everything holds up against modern shooters, many of which owe a huge debt to Halo's inspiration. It's all presented beautifully, with remade graphics and sound that allow old hands like me to relive the glory days through rose-tinted glasses, and new fans to appreciate the classics without having to look past decade-plus-old graphics. However, Halo's memorable multiplayer modes are undermined by unacceptably unreliable and bug-ridden performance in the days after launch, to the point where I can't recommend that you buy Master Chief Collection right now for that functionality. That's heartbreaking, but on the bright side, there's still more than enough single-player and co-op content here to strongly recommend it for those alone. The fan service begins right at the main menu. A flick of the thumbstick starts playing the soundtrack of the selected game, a laudable touch considering how big a part Halo's scores have played in establishing the series' memorable atmosphere. I jumped straight into the star of the Master Chief Collection, Halo 2 Anniversary. Like 2011's Halo 1 Anniversary, it's actually running 2 graphics engines at the same time, allowing you to instantly switch from 2004 graphics to 2014's Xbox One coat of paint at the touch of a button. Admittedly, the new facade is a bit rough around the edges. I saw occasional frozen enemies, some frame rate dips, and a few loading screens that jarringly interrupt the pace as the impressive new cutscenes queue up. And while the graphics are up to modern standards in many ways, they're hardly jaw-dropping. Some parts of the campaign seem unnecessarily dark, for instance, and I don't agree with all the choices made on the new art. But the sum of Halo 2 Anniversary's parts, most notably a timeless campaign that now runs at 60 frames per second, trumps its minor annoyances.
No enemy has ever withstood our might.
I'm giving the audio a standing ovation. Halo 2's already great soundtrack has been remastered and sounds bigger and fuller while also remaining reverential and respectful to the original. It's so good I'd listen to it in my car. Meanwhile, Chief's chunky metallic footsteps have been added, and every weapon sound has been replaced with beefier, more aggressive versions. The new battle rifle and sniper rifle in particular pack a satisfying wallop, but I could have done without the more musical Covenant Energy Sword and overcharged plasma pistol effect. It sounds like the Jetsons' car floating by. What's cooler is how the audio, like the visuals, also cycle between their 2004 originals and the 2014 remastering along with the graphics. And you know what? Halo 2 remains a damn fine game, especially now that you can jump straight into Halo 3 and minimize the whiplash of that hard stop of an ending. Bombastic set pieces all mixed with a plot that ably weaves the parallel stories of Master Chief and the Arbiter. Phenomenal new cutscenes not only breathe new life into the plot, but make me long for a feature-length CG Halo film.
All hands, report to battle station.
The other 3 included Halo games all run at 60 frames per second too, and all suffer from the same noticeable but far from crippling frame rate dips. That doubled speed gives the campaigns and multiplayer modes alike a newfound smoothness and polished feel. All but Halo 2 run at full 1080p, which still looks good at the slightly lower resolution of 1328 by 1080. There's no going back from this smoother frame rate. The Master Chief Collection is the definitive version of each of these games. It's great to see the lost art of split-screen multiplayer revived here in all 4 games. It's now much more playable thanks to splitting 1080 lines of resolution between players instead of just 320, and on much larger TVs than were common a decade ago. Don't expect to maintain 60 frames per second in split screen though, the dips are far more frequent this way. Master Chief Collection's version of Combat Evolved is based off of 2011's Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. It can't match up to Halo 2 Anniversary's Xbox One-ified upgrade, but it's a whole lot better than dusting off your 2001 Xbox to replay this still great game. Some things, like Chief's relatively short jump height and inability to board vehicles, feel a bit archaic now. But the original Halo's excellent story and still remarkable large-scale combat sandboxes, not to mention the goosebump-inducing Chanting Monks theme, make the first Halo both enjoyable and relevant in 2014. Halo 3 is probably the relative low point in the looks department. It has neither the benefit of Halo CE or Halo 2's recent coat of anniversary paint, nor of being fairly new like Halo 4. The resolution and frame rate boosts do give it a nice clean look at least. And with the exception of that exacerbating Cortana mission, it remains arguably the series' finest start-to-finish campaign, complete with an ending that retains all of its emotional punch. As for Halo 4, its stunning visuals are Master Chief Collection's most pleasant surprise. What was already a high point for graphics on Xbox 360 legitimately looks like it was made for Xbox One when running at 1080p and 60 frames per second. Its sound design remains the best in the series too, aside from the battle rifle. I wish it had gotten the same thunderous effect as the Halo 2 Anniversary's version, because now it sounds like a child's toy by comparison. Master Chief Collection also offers campaign playlists, a clever way to take advantage of the fact that all 4 Master Chief adventures are under the same roof. Whether you're playing the last levels of each campaign back-to-back, or consecutively tackling every tank mission on the disc, they're a clever addition, particularly in local or online co-op. Tragically, online functionality has been extremely messy in the days following Master Chief Collection's launch. I've seen all sorts of freezes, crashes, glitches, and general weirdness. It's a true shame that, for now, Halo 2 was easier to play with your friends a decade ago than it is today on exponentially more powerful hardware and a more robust Xbox Live. When it works like it's supposed to, Master Chief Collection's massive multiplayer suite makes me happy, primarily because it gives me 2 things I've waited years for: the ability to play Halo 2 on Xbox Live again, and the chance to play the original Halo's groundbreaking multiplayer online, which even Halo CE Anniversary spectacularly failed to give. It's here, and on dedicated servers no less, with the multiplayer modes of Halo 3 and 4 thrown in for good measure. After many hours rotating through the 4 multiplayer games and their combined 100+ maps, I've come to reaffirm in 2014 what I believed in 2004. Halo 2 is still the king. Running around Blood Gulch, Hang 'em High, or Sidewinder and 3-shotting my friends with Halo CE's lethal default pistol is nostalgically satisfying, but Halo 2 made such a leap in terms of gameplay and features that it makes Halo CE feel its age more than the others. Perhaps Halo 2's greatest accomplishment is its incredible complement of maps, many of which remain classics. Swords Only on Lockout, One Flag CTF on Zanzibar, anything on Midship, Halo 2 packs 25 maps and 90% of them are gems. And long gone but not forgotten game types like Fiesta are lovingly resurfaced, as are the deep customization options. Elsewhere, there are 6 Halo 2 Anniversary maps, a separate group of remakes that deserve special mention. These half-dozen, built for Xbox One stages are, quite literally, modern takes on some of Halo 2's best maps. They dutifully, joyously recreate the exact welcome feel of Halo 2. Halo 3 and 4, meanwhile, also return exactly as you remember them. For all the benefit of having every Halo multiplayer here, the downside is that it really is jarring to jump from game to game in consecutive multiplayer matches. A universal control scheme option mitigates this somewhat, but that doesn't account for the mental and physical adjustments you have to make for the differences in jump heights, physics, weapons, etc. between each. The battle rifle appears in Halos 2, 3, and 4, for instance, but it is its own unique animal in each. The Master Chief Collection makes good on most of its promises. It packs in 4 full games worth of single-player and co-op action, all spruced up and running better than ever before. It saddens me that because of its early online multiplayer problems, what should have been a celebration of the return of Halo's old-school multiplayer greatness is currently an exercise in frustration. Right now, we can only sit back and wait for Microsoft to fix its servers and party problems, and until then, the greatness of revived and enhanced Halo 2 multiplayer is still an unfulfilled promise. Still, great games like this should never die. This collection delivers more than a huge Halo fan like myself could have reasonably imagined, and even with its hopefully temporary online issues, it packs an insane amount of first-person shooter greatness onto one disc. For more on all things Halo, you're already in the right place, IGN.